The second video is about subtraction. First, subtraction of one-digit numbers. Second, subtraction of two-digit numbers. Third, subtraction of three-digit numbers. Fourth, subtraction of different number of digits numbers. Fifth, subtraction of decimal numbers. Sixth, subtraction of a decimal from a whole number. Seventh, subtraction of fractions with same denominator. Eighth, subtraction of fractions with different denominators. Ninth, subtraction of a fraction from a whole number. 10th, subtraction of expressions. First, we have subtracting two numbers with one digit, like 5 minus 1. We remove 1 from the 5, so it becomes 4. Another example of subtracting two numbers with one digit is 7 minus 3. Count 3 backwards from the 7. 6, 5, 4. Second, we have subtracting two numbers with two digits, like 35 minus 12. Both have two digits. First, we write them one below the other, and then we start subtracting from the right. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. The final answer is 2. Another example of subtracting two numbers with two digits is 52 minus 35. First, we write them one below the other, and then we start from the right. We notice that the upper number is smaller than the lower number, so we cannot subtract them. We must borrow 1 from the number beside it. It becomes 12, and the number beside it becomes 4. 12 minus 5 is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. The answer is 17. Third, we have subtracting two numbers with three digits, like 502 minus 195. First, we write them one below the other and start subtracting from the right. We find that the upper number is less than the lower number, so we must borrow 1 from the number beside it. But the number is 0. When we borrow 1 from the number 0, it becomes 9, and the number before it is lessened by 1, so the 5 becomes 4. Then we start subtracting. 12 minus 5 is 7. 9 minus 9 is 0. 4 minus 1 is 3. The answer is 307. Third, we have subtracting two numbers. Another example of subtracting two numbers with three digits is 984 minus 295. First, we write them one below the other, then we start from the right. 4 is less than 5, so we borrow 1 from the 8. It becomes 14, and the 8 becomes 7. 14 minus 5 is 9. 7 is less than 9, so we borrow 1 from the 9 beside it. It becomes 17, and the 9 becomes 8. 17 minus 9 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. The final answer is 689. Fourth is subtracting two numbers with different number of digits, like 3456, which has 4 digits, minus 984, which has 3 digits. First, we write them one below the other, and we start from the right, and make sure that the 4 is below the 6, and the 8 is below the 5, and the 9 is below the 4. Then we start. 6 minus 4 is 2. 5 is less than 8, so we borrow 1 from the 4. The 5 becomes 15 and the 4 becomes 3. 15 minus 8 is 7. 3 is less than the 9, so we borrow 1 from the 3. It becomes 13 and the 3 becomes 2. 13 minus 9 is 4. The 2 nothing below it, so it comes down as 2. The final answer is 2, 4. Another example of subtracting two numbers with different number of digits is 258, which has 3 digits, minus 79, which has 2 digits. First, we write them one below the other from the right. The 9 is under the 8 and the 7 is under the 5. Then we start. 8 is less than the 9, so we borrow 1 from the 5. The 8 becomes 18 and the 5 becomes 4. 18 minus 9 is 9. 4 is less than 7, so we borrow 1 from the 2. The 4 becomes 14 and the 2 becomes 1. 14 minus 7 is 7. And the 1, nothing below it, comes down as 1. The answer is 1, 7. Another example of subtracting two numbers with different number of digits is 301, which has 3 digits, minus 9, which is only 1 digit. We write them one below the other from the right, so the 9 becomes under the last digit, which is 1, and then we start subtraction. 1 is less than 9, so we borrow 1 from the 0. When we borrow 1 from the 0, it turns into 9 and the 3 turns into 2. Then 11 minus 9 is 2. 9, nothing under it, comes down as 9. 2, nothing under it, comes down as 2. The answer is 292. Fifth, we have subtracting two decimal numbers, like 2.5 minus 1.3. First, we arrange them, the point under the point. Then we start from the right. 5 minus 3 is 2. The point comes down. 2 minus 1 is 1. The answer is 1.2. Fifth, we have another example of subtracting two decimal numbers is 2.25 minus 1.3. First, we write them one below the other, but make sure at first that the point is under the point. So, the 1 comes under the 2 and the 3 comes under the 2, and the 5 is left alone. We start from the right. 5, nothing under it, comes down as 5. 2 is less than 3, so we borrow 1 from the 2. The 2 becomes 12 and the other 2 becomes 1. 12 minus 3 is 9. The point comes down. 1 minus 1 is 0. The answer is 0.95. Sixth, we have subtracting a whole number from a decimal number, like 2.25, which is a decimal number, minus 2, which is a whole number. To convert the 2 into decimal, we add to it 0.0. Now, we have 2.25 minus 2.0. We arrange them, the point under the point, and then we start from the right. 5, nothing under it, comes down as 5. 2 minus 0 is 2. The point comes down. 2 minus 2 is 0. The answer is 0.25. Next, we have subtracting a decimal number from a whole number, like 28, which is a whole number, minus 8.5, which is a decimal. So we convert the 28 into decimal by adding 0.0 to it. Then we write them one below the other and make sure that the point is under the point, and start from the right. 0 is less than 5, so we borrow 1 from the 8. The 0 becomes 10 and the 8 becomes 7. 10 minus 5 is 5. The point comes down. 7 is less than 8. So we borrow 1 from the 2. The 7 becomes 17 and the 2 becomes 1. 17 minus 8 is 9. And the 1, nothing under it, comes down as 1. The answer is 19. Seventh, we have subtracting fractions with same denominators, like 6 over 7 minus 2 over 7. Both denominators are the same, so we can subtract the numerators. 6 minus 2 is 4. The answer is 4 over 7. Seventh, we have Eighth, we have subtracting fractions with different denominators, like 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4. We notice that the two denominators are not the same, so we have to convert one to the other. The 2 can be converted to 4 by multiplying it by 2. So we multiply the whole fraction by 2. 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. The new fraction is 2 over 4 minus 1 over 4. Both have the same denominators now, which is 4. Then the answer is 1 over 4. Another example of subtracting fractions with different denominators is 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3. Both denominators are not the same, and we cannot convert one to the other, so we make cross multiplication. We multiply the first fraction by the second denominator, which is 3, and the second fraction by the first denominator, which is 2. The first fraction multiplied by 3 will become 3 over 6, and the second fraction multiplied by 2 will become 2 over 6. We have now equal denominators, so we can subtract. Ninth, we have subtracting a whole number from a fraction, like 7 over 2 minus 3. 3 is a whole number. To convert it to a fraction, put it over 1. Then we have to unify the denominator. The 1 can be changed into 2 by multiplying it by 2. So we multiply the whole fraction by 2. The first fraction remains as it is, 7 over 2, minus the second fraction multiplied by 2 will become 6 over 2. Now they both have the same denominators, so the answer is 1 over 2. Tenth, we have subtracting expressions, like 5x minus 2x. They both have the same letter x, so we can subtract them. 5 minus 2 equals 3. The answer is 3x. 9a minus 3a. Both have the same letter a. Then the answer is 6a. 6b minus 2a. They don't have the same letters, so they cannot be subtracted. The answer remains as it is, 6b minus